Happy Friday, everybody. Feliz Viernes. Feliz Sexta-feira. Happy Deadlift Day. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Day after Christmas, I'm still trying to maintain my schedule. Got all my work done, except for I got one last set of my accessory superset left to do, and I'll get that done in a minute. But I want to do the video now. I'm thinking about a couple things. First one is a cue that I use for sumos that's a little bit contradictory sounding to what I want to actually happen. So a little bit of a preamble to that. I film most of my sets. And it's not just a post to YouTube, even a lot of them get posted to YouTube. Most of it is diagnostic. So over the last several sessions, I've noticed that my knees are getting too straight too quick in sumo. So I'm letting my back do most of the work because my knees are extending fast and then the back's got to do the rest of the work. I want kind of the opposite to happen. So the cue that I use that helps me maintain the position that I want to maintain longer, which is more angle on the knees, is to think about a chain at the base of my neck kind of thing, or just the fact that my shoulders are what's going to go vertically as I make that initial pull and pull through the lift. So by thinking of that cue, my shoulders come up, stay up, my back tries to stay more vertical, and as those things happen, that keeps the knees bent a little longer, puts a little bit more stress on the quads and on the glutes to keep the bar in close and make that as vertical of a lift as possible. So I did some of that today. It's a little bit noticeable on tape. I felt it more than I could see it, but I'm happy with those results. So cues might not sound like they're fixing what they're fixing, but sometimes you got to figure out how to think about things in a very short snippet of information that fixes several aspects of what you want to remedy. So there's that. The other thing I was thinking about, right, we just got past Christmas. The next big thing is New Year's. A lot of people are going to be going to the gym, starting their New Year's resolutions, yada, yada, yada. Like, you know, I'm going to get healthy this year. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get lean, jacked, swole, shredded, cut, toned, tanned, whatever. And so a lot of people do that at the beginning of the year. You can make a resolution any day. It doesn't need to be a New Year's resolution. I mean, in my mind, I got a couple of things I absolutely have as goals for 2026. Not going to tell you what they are, but they're absolutely goals, but they're not like these resolutions. I'm like, okay, you know, as soon as that clock ticks over, boom, I'm into it. No. My own resolutions are more like, these are goals I need to kind of try and hit this year. I've already got things going towards them. I just want to execute a few things so I can make them happen. But with regards to stuff like health and the gym and whatnot, you can make that resolution anytime. It doesn't need to be the New Year's in order for that to happen. I can tell you when mine happened. 2024. I was sitting on the deck of a 150-foot mud boat. I was dealing with seasick issues, which were mild, but it was an annoyance. So wasn't eating as much as I normally would. Then I had a wicked flare-up of gout. And I had no medication to deal with it. So there's one particular NSAID that I use. I didn't have any of those on me. And the boat had some ibuprofen, which does help, but it's not super duper. So I'm at sea, got a gout flare up, feel terribly. And overall, I'm moving around like dirt. I just am not doing well. And in addition to that, you know, 2025, I know I was going to be turning 50. And I had 12-hour shifts, of which half of those shifts, I worked from midnight to noon. That was my shift while I was at sea. So I'm sitting there with a lot of time on my hands because even though I was working a shift, there wasn't a lot of stuff to do. A lot of sitting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean doing a lot of nothing. So, and with very little internet access, I could basically pull text off the web, but no video images were tough. So I'm sitting there dealing with gout, feeling miserable, feeling fat as ever, thinking about turning 50. Mortality is a thing. My parents are still alive, but they're getting old. So I'm sitting out at sea and I'm like, I've got to fix a lot of things and I need to do, it's two prongs. I'd already been working out, but I'm like, I need to work out a little bit smarter and be a little bit more consistent. So that was mainly handled. But the big resolution that I made at that time, which was like Labor Day weekend 2024, I got to clean up my diet and I got to get committed to moving the needle on the scale in the right direction. And so I did that. And it's not been easy and I'm still struggling out. I mean, Christmas is hard, so hard to ignore all these fantastic meats and cheeses and desserts and side dishes and all these things. It's just absolutely delicious and it's just, they're bountiful. There's so much of it. But you got to say no. I have to say no. So this is a thing that I had to make a resolution, and it was roughly Labor Day weekend 2024, of I need to improve those aspects of my life if I want to be around longer for my kids and maintain a better baseline of health. So I did that, and that was my resolution. It had nothing to do with New Year's. It had to do with what am I going to do to make myself better? So all I'm saying is New Year's is coming up. Absolutely, we should start to think about what we want to do in 2026, how we want to make that year better for ourselves. But it doesn't mean that if you miss the date, that, well, they got to wait till next year to do this resolution. I got to wait for the entire clock to cycle back around. I got to wait for that calendar to flip over before I can start my life anew. No, you can do it any day. Any day you can decide to depart from what you've been doing and make yourself better. Improve your life, improve your health. Whatever it is you got to do, go back to school. Get involved with your community. Whatever it is you got to do that you want to make, that you want to change in your life, you can do it anytime. There's no time better than now. Roughly now is the beginning of the New Year's coming up. But again, you don't have to wait on this singular event that comes once a calendar year to take action. You can take action anytime. So as we're heading up to the New Year's resolution, absolutely think about things you want to improve and think about how you're going to plan those out and make plans that are successful, actionable plans. There's this old acronym, SMART, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Right, that acronym that they used to talk about, like any business majors probably heard it umpteen million times. But you plan out some goals that you know you can execute, that you can take in little chunks and you move forward, and that so that when you have a resolution, you can make that resolution permanent. That's what you want. You want to say, I want to change something about me in such a way that it becomes part of my personal fabric and improves my quality of life for a long period of time, whether it be physical health, emotional health, mental health, whatever it may be. Take action when you need to take action and make sure that you've got a plan in place that provides a good foundation for success. All right, so enough preaching on that stuff. All I know is that I've done a couple things in my life to try to move the needle forward for me, and it has never needed to sit and wait until Happy New Year. But that being said, always be thinking about how you make yourself better. And now is a great time of year to do it. All right, so it is Friday. And have a happy Friday. Feliz Viernes. Feliz Sexta-feira. It is a deadlift party day for me. Maybe it is for some of you guys out there. I hope you have a great one. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. And never forget, get into those gyms, get those goals. Get those goals and get swole. Peace.